then there's going to be a dot, dot, dot that'll come up in the corner, and you want to close it in the right corner.
Man, this is an education.
Every time we do it.
I love it. It's an old phone too, Sarah. I probably should have closed every other program on it, but
Nathan, is the DI plugged into the guitar we're going to use?
it's plugged into the one for Rise,
And you're doing San Miguel first?
and I'm doing San Miguel first.
Fine, don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah. I'm afraid, yeah. So,
It's not doing much. Can you lean down and just unplug the DI?
at the box,
Yeah. No, on the guitar, sorry.
on the guitar. That's easier for me, actually. Okay, yeah. Woo. All right. I should have checked for nose hairs, man, before I. But the zipper's good. Okay, here we go. all those things you check. Wow, this is so beautiful, man. Need like a surround shot of the. It's amazing.
We're good to go.
All right, so we are on. So welcome, folks, to the Garrison of the magical kingdom of recording studios here at Blue Rock Artist Ranch and Studio, a wonderful grand piano here that I have had many late night songwriting sessions on. And so welcome. It's great to have you here. And I'm going to be playing a couple of songs and telling you a little bit about why we're here. I have just finished recording an album here with Patrick at Blue Rock, Patrick Conway, an album called The Streets of San Miguel. And I am so fired up about this album. And so I thought maybe how I might start is with the title song of the album, The Streets of San Miguel. How predictable might that be? And then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the album and why it is that we're here and why we're doing this. This is The Streets of San Miguel. There's something about these cobbled streets. It makes me smile at those I meet. Or maybe it's the total lack of clocks in all the bars and coffee shops. But I've given us some thought, more thought than you probably think I've got. And I swear I was sober when the great big answer came flooding in. Why would it take a town like this for me to finally take the hint that I've taken it it so well. Here on the streets of San Miguel. My heart's been known to take so long. When I come to, the moment's gone. That's why I hope you're at your door when I come knocking at room 4, so I can try to make this clear, that I'll be yours if you're still here. And maybe I lied about being clean. It's just there's so much tequila in Mexico, if you know what I mean. But still I can't believe it's true, that even you know that it's you. It's why I'm standing where I fell, where I fell in San Miguel. And what I meant was where I fell, fell for you in San Miguel. And by the way, it's not like I was drinking all alone last night. So let's just say it's where we fell, where we fell in San Miguel. What I meant was where we fell for each other in San Miguel. Here on the streets of San Miguel. Ay, 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 ay. Cantai no llores. So a part of the reason we're here is to help along and hopefully invite you in to be a part of also the Kickstarter campaign that we are doing for this album. This it's taken me a while to realize. This is my first fundraising campaign. I've never done anything like it before, so I am new to this. I struggled with it deeply as to whether or not it was something that I could pull off and just inside my head and mentally and emotionally. But what I have discovered in the process is that this is just this is a part of how we do it now. That we have to make albums together. The way that the industry works now, the way that the world works now, we have to make albums together. I need you to be able to do it. We have this great studio. We've had the privilege of working with phenomenal musicians on this album project, along with Patrick Conway engineering and producing the album. We had Joel Guzman play accordion on this project. We've got Warren Hood, the fantastic Betty Sue, did a duet with me and many different background vocals on several other songs. Dee Stribling did the percussion track for the whole album, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And there were others, and I'm deeply grateful to all these folks. But it takes a lot of money to pull these things off, and so I want to invite you to join us in this project and help us out with this. It's something that I am proud of. I'll talk a little bit more about that and the songs and why that is here a little bit later, because I want to be honest with you. This album, as we were recording it, surprised me. These songs have been with me for a long time, and I've been performing some of them for a very long time, and some of them only for months. But the album, as it came together, turned into its own unique thing that has been one of the most wonderful surprises in my recent musical endeavors and life and career. And so I think maybe next I will bring in one of the songs that sort of is a part of that surprise. The times, they are a-changin', someone else said, so I have to do something different. And so one of the surprises in songwriting from this last year has just been a creative impulse towards songs and types of songs that I don't normally write. It's not hasn't been in my repertoire in the past. But I've got a fantastic 22-year-old daughter. Her name is Sierra, and she has inspired me to speak to and for her and to and for her generation. And so this is one of the songs that has come through this project as a surprise. It's called Rise. I'm gonna square my shoulders, I'm gonna plant my feet. I may be getting older, but I can still feel the beat. I'm gonna raise my voice, I'm gonna make it heard. And I may not have your sword, but I can sure wield these words. And I will not back off, I will not stand down. I'm gonna stop right here, I'm gonna hold my ground. You can blow your horn, you can tweet your lies, you can knock me down, but I'll only rise. Raise an army armed with poems and peace. We'll march forth in hope and love, and we'll overflow these streets. So you can load your guns, bring all your bluster and wind. We'll see who runs and who's left standing in the end. And we will not back off, we will not stand down. We're gonna stop right here, we're gonna hold our ground. You can blow your horn, you can tweet your lies, you can knock us down, but we'll only rise. Square our shoulders, we're gonna plant our feet, and We may be getting older, we can still feel the beat. And we will not back off, we will not stand down. We're gonna stop right here, we're gonna hold our ground. You can blow your horn, you can tweet your lies, you can knock us down, but we'll only rise. We're gonna rise up. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise up. We're gonna rise. We're gonna rise up. We're gonna rise. So that song has been featuring pretty prominently in recent concerts, and I even had the privilege of doing that one with my daughter in a way in a recent house concert here a little while back that was awfully fun, and a concert that she performed with me in. And so that song has been, we have actually already received a little bit of airplay on that song on the public radio station in Telluride, Colorado, and which was really fun, and just had a wonderful time up there in that area at an extraordinarily beautiful time of year to be in Telluride, Colorado. It was very rough. It's very hard, but that song brings me to wanting to just mention a little bit more about this album and why this is so important to me and why I truly want to get this out. We live in a time in the music business in particular right now where it's a little bit it's confusing to know what to do. Do we make albums? Do we make CDs or not? Do we release them as albums? Do we make singles? What is it that we do? I am of, it might be generational, it might be age related, I don't know, but I'm not sure that it is. And that is that I still love a great album. I love a collection of songs that go together and they tell a story together and they flow one from one and in and out to the other. And towards the middle of this album, if we're talking about surprises, I have to throw out the surprise that happened on this with the song called Beautiful Silence that turned into a duet with Betty Sue. And she just absolutely nailed this song. Such a beautiful, beautiful voice. And I did not know it was going to be a duet, and it turned into one. It's absolutely fabulous. But there's something also about this song, Beautiful Silence, that is beyond just the fact that it turned into one of my favorite songs on the album sonically and performance-wise because of Betty Sue. It's also a special song because Beautiful Silence happens to be the very first song ever recorded here at Blue Rock. Billy was still setting up the studio. Things were just getting plugged in the control room right over here where Patrick is right now, giving me hand signals, and polite ones mostly. And Billy and I were sitting in that control room right there. He had just gotten some equipment set up and certain things rolling and running. And I had written a song because he had connected a keyboard up to the system to see if he could get it all going. And so I was playing the keyboard to help kind of, run lines and hear sounds and things like that, and started writing this song in my head, and Billy put a drum track to it. And one thing led to another, and I think I don't know, Billy, I'm not exactly sure, but I think we wound up recording this song like overnight or something, the moment that it was written. And so this album, to me, that song also tells the story of what a privilege this place is. Blue Rock has been a part of my life for 18 years, even though it is only in its 13th year of operation. And I wish you could actually see more of this place. If you have not been to a concert or come to see the recording studio here, you must do this. This is absolutely an amazing place. And so up and running for 13 years, but I sat with Billy when Blue Rock was nothing but a picnic table, not too far from where I'm sitting at this moment. And Billy began to tell me the dream of what this place is. And so you can see that there's a lot more to the Streets of San Miguel as an album than just we had this group of songs that we wanted to throw together and create a project. This is a really special thing for me, special in that the music means a lot to me. The album and what it turned into as a single piece of art by itself means a lot to me. Where I was able to record it means a lot to me as well. And so this is why, we went a couple of extra miles, if not 20 or 30, on this album as it began to grow and turn into something I wasn't expecting. And, Patrick just, real quick over the why don't you just say, Patrick, Nathan, what if we... Could you say that over the speaker real quick? Nathan, what if we...
Nathan, what if we...
Okay, that right there. Every time Patrick said that, it wound up costing me a... No, in a fantastic way. But that is why, that's a part of the reason. And it was all beautiful things that happened. And that's why I want to invite you in to this project. They're going to be putting some information up here, I think, real soon on the screen. Of how to connect with this Kickstarter campaign. Like I said, I went from being paranoid, terrified, and worried about doing this to discovering as I went along that this is actually about the joy of a community building a work of art and doing that together. And it may have changed the way that I look at this process and how all of this works forever. It really, and so I appreciate we're about 40% of the way there, folks, and we've got 17 days to go. And I am truly, truly grateful to the people who have already pitched in on this. And so come with us on this journey. Be a part of the Streets of San Miguel and join in. And I am deeply grateful for any help you can send, but also for your time and attention on this video. Thank you to Blue Rock. Billy, thank you for doing this. Sarah, thank you for doing this. Patrick, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it very, very much. It means a lot to me. And I hope to see you at a show or in a performance sometime in the upcoming year or two. Thanks so much.
Hey, Nathan.
Yeah?
Can you keep going?
I can't. Oh, did I come in under? Because
No, I just thought, there's way more people now that are tuned in than
I see. Well,
when you started.
Okay, well, see, I was raised a Baptist preacher's kid, so we tend to cut it off. It's like,
But I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Milton's online. And
Oh, wow. Hi, Milton. How are you doing, man? It's good to see you. All right. I love it. Okay.
If you don't mind.
I love it.
We're all here now.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Would that be a song? Or by the way, you said Deirdre is online. I must say this: on a few songs on this album, Deirdre Childs, dear friend, plays cello. She is one of the songs in particular, embodies it. Like, she makes this a song, and so she is another one of the awesome musicians on this project that I failed to mention earlier, and so.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, so we're all here.
Okay. All right.
One way or the other, we're all here.
Okay.
Play us another song at least.
Well, let's. Okay.
And
We'll do one more, and if
feel
it's
like we just got started.
yeah, if that can involve a tiny bit of tuning, that might be real critical. But I think I can pull that off. I think I can do that. So let's go to this other guitar here. Another thing about Blue Rock that is so awesome is that you're always surrounded by these amazing guitars and instruments. As I mentioned earlier, I've spent a lot of late nights. This piano. Fortunately, there's a lot of sound separation in this place, in this house, and so I've had the privilege of playing that piano there at about 2 and 3 in the morning. And that's a pretty mystical thing. It's a... Might take me a second here on this one. But I'm a big fan of the personal concert, by the way. The ones that you play to yourself at night, in the middle of the night. I've done those concerts before. You know, I've never really understood the artist that writes music and creates things and then doesn't ever want to listen to it again. It's like, yeah, I mean, when we finished that album, I never listened to that again. It's like, what? So... So, this was a... This is one of the songs that was newer to the album. It was a recent addition. As a matter of fact, written so recently that it barely made it in. We barely got to it. But for a book that I was writing, I had done some research on the patron saints. Didn't realize how absolutely amazing and involved and intricate the patron saints are. There are patron saints of coffee. There's a patron saint of for the Chicago Police Department, I guess because they need it so badly, I don't know. There's a patron saint for everything under the sun. But in my research, I came across Saint Agnes, and her description was so specific that it really took my breath away. And so Saint Agnes is the patron saint of young girls or young women in particularly extraordinary and difficult circumstances, I think. It's described differently in different sources, but it is something that detailed. Patron saint of young women in extraordinarily difficult circumstances. And the more I researched her life and her bio, the more the words to this song came into my head. This is for my daughter Sierra. There's some holy in her hell, a little dirt on her wings. But anytime she dances, even the... I'm sorry, it's new to me and I'm a little nerve-wracked. I'm going to try it again. We'll see what happens. There's some holy in her hell, a little dirt on her wings. But even angels listen anytime she sings. And she was handed down some darkness. She got it from both sides. But anytime she dances, even the devil runs and hides. And if you listen to her heart, you'll hear the beat inside my madness. And why I've called upon the help of Saint Agnes. And if you look into her eyes, your mind will melt with sadness, and you'll see why I've put her in the hands of Saint Agnes. So even when she speaks, her pain is sworn to silence. And anytime she laughs, it's just an act of defiance. And even when I knock sometimes and she decides to let me in, there's a hidden line between us, and that's the way it's always been. But if you listen to her heart, you'll hear the beat inside my madness, and why I've called upon the help of Saint Agnes. And if you look into her eyes, your mind will melt with sadness, and you'll see why I've put her in the hands. Sweet Saint Agnes, please watch over my precious little girl. Oh, Saint Agnes, do not leave her all alone in this world. There's some holy in her hell, a little dirt on her wings, but even angels listen anytime she sings. So if you'll listen to her heart, you'll hear the beat inside my madness, and why I've called upon the help of Saint Agnes. And if you'll look into her eyes, your mind will melt with sadness, and you'll see why I've put her in the hands of Saint Agnes. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate it. All right. See you soon. We all right?
Yeah.
Are we good? All right. I'm just waiting for the big Billy burst in. Say. That what a perfect ending that will make.